I almost just relapsed just now. It's midnight. Literally just right there. I was on the brink. I was on the edge. I was literally on the sights. I was like right there. And at the very last moment, I stopped. Something deep within my soul was just like, no, I can't do this anymore. That's not who I am. I'm not a cuck. I'm not trying to watch other people have sex. I'm not trying to waste my energy on this shit. I can't do this anymore. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't a sign. It was just a deep knowing. Deep within me, I can't do this. It's not who I am. And what I noticed and what I already know is that being in that state, being on the edge like that, you're in a state of tension. You're in a state of anxiety. I could literally see it happening. My body tensing up, all my muscles, my leg muscles, my hip muscles, my core muscles, my pelvic floor all tensing up, tightening, my forehead tightening. There's tension in my brain. Everything is tense, everything is anxious because I'm getting so flooded with overstimulation from the screen. My dopamine receptors are getting so fried, right? That my body, my system doesn't even know what's going on anymore. It's literally getting overloaded. It's like I'm sitting in an electric chair or something. That's literally what was happening. Every time you watch porn, every time you're gooning, such a fucking stupid word, but every time you're just consuming the digital cheeks, that nonsense on the screen, you're overloading your system, you're giving yourself screen-based stimulation, and we are not meant for screen-based stimulation. Our brains are not evolved to be overloaded like that. We can't do that. It's not good for us, and we know it's not good for us. Real talk, I was on a fucking site and then I started looking at the comments on the video, and it's all these people talking about, yeah, this video is amazing. I love smoking weed and like fucking getting my lube and having my dick in my hand and fucking frying my dopamine receptors. Like, it's all comments like that. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I spending time with these people? Hey, no disrespect to them, but I don't want to do that shit. They want to sit there, watch other people have sex. I don't want to do that. They want to sit there, waste their energy. I don't want to do that. Porn makes you so anxious, makes you so tense, like just releasing your energy. Even while I was in that situation, while I was just sitting there, I could feel so much tension. I could feel so much like anxiety. I could feel all my body just starting to tense up. So I had to think to myself, okay, everyone, like, I'm getting overstimulated. Everyone's talking about overstimulation in the comments. Like, how do I stop that? You take a deep breath, and I want you to do this with me. You take a deep breath and imagine that as you inhale, you're pulling in all this oxygen. Imagine you're not breathing through your lungs, through your mouth, but you're breathing, it's gonna sound weird, but you're breathing through your genitals, okay? Just bear with me. You're breathing, taking a deep breath through your genitals, and as you're breathing, it's like all that oxygen is going like up your spine. Hold it, and then as you exhale, just going back down till it gets to around right below your belly button. And you're just circulating the energy like that. Let's do it real quick. Inhale through your genitals. Everything's going up the spine, and then exhale down the front. Let's do it one more time. This is known as the microcosmic orbit, is what I've heard it called. It's some sort of Taoist practice. I'm not a Taoist. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I don't know all that stuff. But what I do know is that what's happening when we're taking these deep breaths, we're calming our body down. What was happening with the porn, we're getting tense. We're getting to that anxious fight or flight state. Now what's happening as we take these deep breaths, we are calming down. We're relaxing our body, our mind, our nervous system. We're getting into that rest or digest state. That's the opposite of the state that porn has you in. It's so easy when you're in that state, when you're in that tensed up state, to just start judging yourself, start beating yourself up. You feel so much shame. Feel so much guilt. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep going back? Why do I keep doing the things that I said I don't want to do? The things that I said I want to quit and get rid of my life. Why do I keep doing it? I know it's tough, but you have to stop judging yourself. You have to stop beating yourself up, because what good is that doing? That's only making it more difficult. That's only making it hard. That's only making you feel worse, making you feel more tense, more anxious, and then what happens? You go straight back to all that excess dopamine, to frying your dopamine receptors, because it distracts you from the anxiety, from the tension. It relieves all that, at least for a little bit. But the ironic thing is it makes it worse because you get this huge spike of dopamine and then you crash and you feel terrible. And because you feel terrible, your dopamine baseline goes low for a little bit. Now you feel even more anxious. Now you feel even more tense. And then so your brain's like, well, let's go back to that spike again because we were feeling good up here. But then what happens? You crash back down. So now you're in this constant cycle of watch porn, get a dopamine spike, and then go back down because your brain needs to balance out the dopamine. And then you spike again because you feel like shit when your dopamine baseline goes down, and then it comes back down. It's this constant cycle of spike, crash. And what happens is your dopamine receptors literally become desensitized to real life. Real women are no longer arousing to you, like real life women. Real normal things, like just going outside for a walk, eating good food, accomplishing a goal, exercising, those things no longer have any appeal to you. You lose your motivation when you're constantly watching porn because you can only get stimulated and get pleasure from these overstimulating things from the porn. And then you start combining it with the weed, right? That's what I started doing. And then you start watching more extreme stuff, and then it's not just like a video. Now it's like compilation videos, and then like, switching different tabs, clicking around different things, different images, the videos constantly every few seconds, switch. There's like music playing, there's crazy editing. It just gets more and more extreme because you need more and more stimulation because your dopamine receptors are fucking fried and you can't even focus. You can't even sit down and get pleasure from normal day-to-day life anymore because your brain is fried. So you're tense and you're anxious. And so the antidote to that is the microcosmic orbit, is deep breathing, because what are you doing? You're relaxing your whole body. And let's do it again, but this time I want you to think about not just the breathing pattern, not just trying to feel the energy through your body, but when you exhale, try and see if you can feel your body, right? Because this is the key. When I was in that tensed up state, when I was on the side, I was about to relapse, you're so like, oh my God, like you're right there on the edge, right? I started breathing. I started trying to, instead of all the energy just wanted to like go out, instead of doing that, I said, no, the energy is going to go up and it's going to circulate through my body. Taking that aroused energy. This is what the microcosmic orbit is. You're taking all that aroused energy and you're just letting it fuel your body. You're letting all of that pleasure move, instead of just stuck in your genitals, it goes through your whole body, your whole system. And what happened as I was doing it back there, I started to feel like tingly sensations in my arms, in my legs. Like I could feel the pleasure, the aroused energy moving throughout my whole body. This is how you can literally have full body orgasm, non-ejaculatory full body orgasms, because you are literally taking all that aroused energy, all that sexual energy, you're not releasing it, right? We're practicing semen retention. We're letting that Super Saiyan godlike energy charge up and build up within us, that divine masculine energy, or even that divine feminine, because women can do this practice as well. Throughout this video, this isn't a guided breathing or anything, but just throughout the video, just try it as you're watching the video. Just in, energy goes up, and you don't even have to, you can like kind of imagine or try and feel like the energy just staying here in your head. Play around with it, because you might not even feel anything at first. You might not be used to it at first because you're so used to frying your dopamine receptors to the point where you can only get pleasure from the porn, and to the point where you can only get not even aroused. That's the other thing too. I'm not even aroused by that stuff. But because the body and the system is so used to doing that, it gets to a point where you can only get an erection to that stuff. You don't even like that stuff. So you get weak erections because you're not aroused, you're not horny, you're not turned on. But you need constantly new tabs, new images, new screens in order to stay hard and to maintain an erection. So you have weak erection qualities. You have PIED, porn-induced erectile dysfunction. That's how you get from too much porn. That's why so many guys can't fucking get their dick up to a real woman anymore, or stay hard, or they need to get like the gas station pills or the fucking blue chews or whatever. I don't even know, like all this like Viagra type shit. It's because everybody's fucking jerking it too much and not letting your dick rest. Your pelvic floor, your penis, that's a fucking muscle. Just like in the gym, you gotta let your muscles rest. You gotta have rest days. You can't just be working out all the time. Your muscles recover and get stronger when you rest. That's when they get bigger. That's when they get healthier. So the point I was trying to make is that you want to be calm. You want to be present. The antidote to porn is presence. The antidote to addiction and isolation is getting out of your head and into your body, right? Let's do it again. Doing this practice literally brings your awareness away from all the overstimulation going on in your head and away from just thinking about your genitals and like just releasing all the energy outward. And it literally brings that aroused sexual energy and awareness to your whole body, right? Your whole body can feel pleasure, and you're separating orgasm from ejaculation. You don't need to release in order to feel pleasure, right? And I think especially as men, like growing up in this culture of just like jerking off to porn real quick, we think that, oh, we just need to like nut really fast. And that's how we get aroused. No, or that's how we feel pleasure. Like, no, you don't need that shit. You don't want that shit. I don't want it. You don't want it. That's why you're watching this video. Let's stop bullshitting ourselves. Whenever you're feeling a strong craving, strong urge, first thing I want you to do is take those deep breaths. Creating space within your whole body to hold that Super Saiyan godlike energy. Just hold it. It's like in Dragon Ball Super when Goku and Vegeta were trying to go Super Saiyan Blue and they were having trouble containing all of that Super Saiyan God energy. They couldn't contain it all because it was so difficult. And the only way they were able to go full Super Saiyan Blue and just maintain that whenever they want is they had to learn to control their energy and stop letting it leak out. They had to stop letting it leak out. But that took patience, that took practice, that took time. They had to be at peace with that energy, not be overwhelmed by it. See, when you're getting aroused, especially by something so stimulating like porn, you're overwhelmed by the stimulation. It's too much. That's why we release so fast and just chase the dopamine. Not only are we chasing the dopamine, but it's because it's too much. We can't handle it. Breathing and taking that deep breath allows you to handle it, allows you to last longer, not just on a retention streak, but even in the bedroom. Imagine like in the bedroom, you're having sex, she's hot as fuck, she's throwing it back on you. Like, if you're just watching porn all day, you're just gonna be like, oh my God. And you're gonna nut in like 2 seconds because that's what you've been training to do. You've just been watching porn and like jerking off and nutting hella quick. But if you wanna last longer, you need to get out of your head and into your body, into the present moment, because what is sex truly if not a meditation on sensation? We're just feeling the sensations. We're connecting with each other emotionally, physically, mentally, all these sorts of things. So how about we connect with our own bodies first? How about we connect with ourselves, and instead of getting stuck in our head, we take that deep breath and sit there and do it, like, especially if you're feeling an urge, you're feeling a craving to watch porn, sit there and do it for like a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then see how you feel. Get up and go for a walk. Go move with that energy. I guarantee you the urge is going to be way less. It might still be there, but it's going to be way less. It's going to be way weaker because you're not concerned with doing all this nonsense. You brought your attention back to reality. You're no longer getting controlled by all these random thoughts, all these random cravings. You let them pass and you just breathe through it. You didn't go and chase all the cravings around and like continue to think about them. No, you just let them go and you let them flow. This is a form of meditation, is all this is. When we meditate and we're just observing our thoughts and we're letting them go, that's all we're doing here too, except it just happens to be a bit more sexual in nature. We're focusing on perhaps more sexual thoughts or more sexual feelings or emotions. But it's the same thing. We're observing them, we're feeling them, and we're letting them go. We're not being attached to them. We're just letting it circulate through us. And then another thing I want you to do is try on the inhale, expand your stomach like it's 360. You're expanding, breathing through your diaphragm, and also push through your pelvic floor as if you're peeing and you're trying to like pee harder. You're trying to push more pee out. This relaxes your pelvic floor, stretches it out. A lot of that tension response I was talking about creates a tight pelvic floor. Your muscles are tight, your glutes, your hips, your core, your pelvic floor is very tight. And when we're in that tightness, that tension, that's when premature ejaculation happens, or that's when erectile dysfunction happens. That's when all this shit happens. So we're combining multiple things. We're getting the deep belly breathing, reverse Kegel, relaxing the pelvic floor, and we're moving the energy around, right? So if you combine all three, you're breathing in and pushing out, stretching and relaxing the pelvic floor, relaxing all these muscles, breathing the energy up and then breathing it down. Just try it and see how it works for you. I'm not saying it's some fucking magic pill, but just try it, dude. Like, trust me, Has anything else you've been doing working? Like, probably not. So just try this, because this is literally the opposite of how you are when you're in like lust mode, when you're in cravings mode, when you're just chasing the porn, when you're just chasing the nut. You're in tension mode, you're in fight or flight mode, you're in anxiety mode. This gets you into the opposite of that, into rest or digest, into relaxation mode, into comfort mode, where you can just feel all the pleasure and enjoy it and be present with it and flow with it and meditate on the sensation and just be there with it. Get out of your head, into your body, right? So try that. Let me know if you do want a guided microcosmic orbit video to go along with this video. This was me just kind of explaining what it is and why it's so powerful and why you should do it, and giving you a little preview of it. But let me know if you want a full like 10-15 minute guided meditation on that, guided breathwork video, because I'll do that. I think that's a good idea. Other than that, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, or don't if you don't want to. It's up to you. I just wanted to share this with you because this is very, very important if you are on this journey. And I'll talk to you next time.